Welcome back to our weekly newsletter on the economy, where we bring you the latest updates on business and economic trends. Today, I will take you on a journey through this week's newsletter. To receive our weekly newsletter and stay informed on the latest economic developments, simply follow our website in the description below. Starting with the European Union, the business landscape in the second quarter saw a concerning shift. Bankruptcy declarations rose by 3.1%, while new business registrations fell by 2.1%. In food markets, the FAO Food Price Index for July dipped slightly. The drop in cereal prices was enough to offset the increases we saw in vegetable oil, meat, and sugar. While this may seem like good news, it highlights the volatility and ongoing fluctuations in global food prices. Over to Asia now, where Japan's economy has made a strong comeback in the second quarter. Thanks to robust private consumption, the GDP grew by 0.8%, marking a significant recovery after the previous quarter's contraction. This rebound is a positive sign for Japan, signaling a potential upward trend in economic activity. Turning to the Eurozone, international trade in goods posted a surplus. This surplus underscores the region's strong trade performance despite various global economic pressures. However, on the global stage, economic growth slowed to 2.75% in July, while service sectors showed resilience. Manufacturing struggled due to declining orders. Interestingly, selling price inflation hit its lowest level since October 2020, providing some relief, but rising costs remain a persistent concern. Shifting focus to a more concerning trend, holiday poverty is on the rise in the EU. Over 2 million more workers were unable to afford a week's holiday in 2023, bringing the total to nearly 40 million people. This increase is largely driven by economic inequality and inflation, stressing the need for fair wages and better living conditions. And in the Czech Republic, producer prices presented a mixed picture for July. Agricultural prices dropped by 3.7%, while industrial prices edged up by 1.7%, and the construction sector saw a 1.8% increase. Moving to Turkey, the unemployment rate held steady at 8.8% in the second quarter. However, there was a positive development as the employment rate rose to 49.6%, indicating a slight improvement in the job market conditions. And Germany is facing significant challenges in its energy transition. According to the DIHK's Energy Transition Barometer 2024, high energy prices are pushing many industrial companies to consider relocating abroad. With the barometer value at -20, it reflects deep concerns about the future competitiveness of German industry under the current energy policies. In global inflation news, the OECD reported that inflation dropped to 5.6% in June, the lowest since October 2021. This decline is a welcome relief for many, but the underlying issues of rising costs and economic instability remain. Let's talk about the growing energy demands of crypto mining and artificial intelligence data centers. These sectors are consuming a massive amount of electricity, accounting for 2% of global demand in 2022, and the numbers are set to rise, with projections estimating a jump to 3.5% by 2027. Alongside this surge, their carbon emissions are expected to hit 1.2% of the global total. This raises significant environmental concerns as we move forward, of course. Now turning to Europe, Austria, we see a promising shift in consumer prices. The inflation. In July, the consumer price index rose by 2.9%, marking the first time inflation has dipped below 3% since July 2021. In Montenegro, consumer prices in July saw a monthly increase of 0.4% and an annual rise of 3.5%. And this uptick is primarily driven by costs in accommodation, fuel, and food. Polish SMEs are making waves in the e-commerce world. In 2023, they achieved record success on Amazon, selling 30 million products. 5 million more than the previous year. To further boost this growth, Amazon is offering new sellers 6 months of free subscription and discounts on fulfillment by Amazon fees starting August 2024. Going to north, Sweden's e-commerce market is on a rapid ascent, valued at $13.5 billion in 2022, and this growth is fueled by mobile commerce and cashless payments, with logical giants like IKEA and H&M leading the charge. And in Germany, the retail business climate has deteriorated sharply to minus 25.4 points in July. Retailers are citing insufficient demand and the shortage of skilled workers as major challenges. Belgium has seen a decline in business confidence for July. The manufacturing and business services sectors are particularly affected, though the trade sector shows mixed trends and the building industry is experiencing some improvement. Let's look at the EU employment rates for recent graduates. In 2023, 83.5% of recent graduates were employed, up from 82.4% in 2024. And Malta leads with an impressive 95.8% employment rate, while Italy lags behind at 67.5%, and graduates with tertiary education have a higher employment rate of 78.8% compared to those with medium education at 78.1%. Moving on to Germany again, the producer prices of industrial products saw a decline of 0.8% in July compared to the same month last year. This follows a year-on-year change rate of minus 1.6% in June. And the Bank of Korea has decided to keep its benchmark interest rate at 3.5%, marking the 13th consecutive hold. However, the bank has hinted at a potential rate cut in the near future due to a weakening domestic economic recovery and easing inflation. This shift signals a move away from its previous stance of maintaining restrictive policy for a sufficient period of time. And finally, in Bulgaria, the unemployment rate dropped to 4.3% in the second quarter of this year. At the same time, the employment rate has risen to 71%, reflecting a positive trend in the labor market. Thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe to our channel for the latest updates.